Hi, hello, good evening, and good day, whatever it is, wherever you are. Strat Chat is super excited to honestly be welcoming the two hottest people in the Big Brother Australia house, Gracie May and TJ. So excited to talk about your entire experience in here because you definitely had two differing experiences, way different, totally on the other side of each spectrum. So, like, we can't wait to get into the entire thing. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into this sucker.
Oh, I was vibing to the intro music. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. My little brother made that. It's a
Yeah.
family affair.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Strat Chat. Yeah. Yeah.
Unreal.
Thank you so much. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined, as always, by my fabulous co-hosts, John Dunphy and Junior Morgino. This is Strat Chat. You can find us in the socials at Strat Chat Pod, wherever you find your podcasts. And once again, we are joined by the incomparable GRACIEMAE and TEEJAY. Thank you both so much for taking time out of your day just to chat with us. We love it. We love it. First, a little icebreaker question, like how familiar were you with Big Brother before you got involved in the entire situation?
I think very familiar. To be fair, though, I haven't really watched the last couple of most recent seasons, but I watched it all the time growing up. My parents would take my brother and I to watch the live evictions on the Gold Coast. Was very invested. It was definitely my favorite reality show.
Love that.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Watched it growing up, haven't watched it recently. I watched the season that Dan Gorringe was in there because I'm a big Dan Gorringe fan. But we went to the house, I want to say when I was like 11. And I've got a photo actually in the old Big Brother chair, which is really cool. Somewhere in the archives. But yeah, haven't watched it recently.
Huh. Very cool.
Okay.
I love that.
So some of this was a little bit new for you.
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. I probably would have benefited watching a few episodes prior to coming in the house, but I was just so filled with elation and fun and just ready to get in there,
Wow.
Yeah, you're just like, whatever, I'm hot enough, I'll be fine.
Absolutely. Oh, no.
I don't have to watch anything else. I don't need any experience or research. I'm good.
No, I could talk to an alpaca, seriously. So I guess communicating with people wasn't my issue.
Nice.
So would you say that the theme of this season like added to your interest in being involved, or like how did it affect things?
So it's funny that you say that. Prior to coming on the show, I had just broken up with my ex-partner maybe like 5 months before, 6 months before. So I was like, I got approached by another show, probably won't say it because it's another network. And I got approached by this one too. And I was like, look, I don't really want to go on a dating show. So I'll go with Big Brother. Then the day before I fly out, I get a phone call from the producer saying, by the way, the theme of this year is the House of Love. Like, we want you to interact with girls and blah, blah, blah. And I'm already too far in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm involved. I already said yes. I'm in.
absolutely. And I do this on a Saturday night anyway. So I may as well get paid for it now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So
That's great.
I was just happy to be
man.
there, to be honest. I didn't care what it was, what theme, just get me in that
Get me
freaking
on.
house.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much fun watching you, GRACIEMAE, too, because like you kept talking about how like just how much fun you were having being in the house. Like,
Yeah.
you said it multiple times throughout the season that like you just loved being there, and like it was so much fun because we're obviously from America, we're big Brother US fans, and we've become big fans of Big Brother Australia. So like it's a dream of ours too to play this game, and so to see somebody in there that's so excited about being there, it was just like it was so much fun to watch you.
Yeah. Look, I hope that you guys get your chance one day because it's truly the most amazing experience and you just let that inner child out. and that it's the perfect space for it. And look, that's why I was so excited to be there. I just wanted to be real freaking naughty, and I didn't care what theme it was. I was going to play into whatever. Obviously a little bit harder for the theme of love, but I definitely still ran with it, and it was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
You totally saw that by your time in the house. I'm telling you, anytime you came on the screen, like, we instantly just started smiling. Even calling back to that whole situation with Lewis and Anna Sophia with that breakfast.
Oh my god!
And you're just like, what's going on, Anna Sophia? Do you not like the breakfast? Like, what's happening?
I think
And that is
so funny because I loved Anna Sophia way more than Lewis. So I was always like with her, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stir. I'm going to call out the obvious. I'm going to make it freaking weird. And that's what I was doing. So it's so funny the way that it comes across as if like maybe I'm trying to cut some grass. Maybe I'm trying to throw her under the bus. But it's really my personality. I'm going to bring it up, and I mean well always. But I just thought that was fucking hilarious. I don't know if we can swear.
Oh, go say whatever you want.
oh yes.
This is PG-13, Gracie, mate.
Hilarious. Also wanted to dog Lewis at the same time. Be like, you can't cook spinach. Look at her.
That is actually where the whole question of what's the deal with GRACIEMAE came from. It's like, we don't know how to read this. It's like, is she trying to like blow this whole thing up, or is she just having a blast?
I
like,
loved
that
Anna
came
Sophia
very
too.
clear
I
as
was
well.
gutted to see her go, and I think it's interesting that you guys reference a lot how conflicting it is when I will say something to someone and then I vote a different way. But just know that what I say is what I meant, and any other votes is some sort of play, not necessarily of my choosing.
Some sort of strat chat, you might say.
Hey.
I might say that is where our name came from.
So yeah, love
a little history that no one asked for. You know, we used to be called Jury Duty. We got in trouble with some other like larger podcasts that like get the hell out of here. You can't be Jury Duty. So we came up with Strat Chat because of the Australian season we had watched prior.
I love
Wow.
It's only the Australians that refer to it as that. John came up with these like, let's just be Strat Chat. I was like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So thank you to all our friends down under.
Yes. I wanted to ask TJ. I wanted to ask you something because I was thinking about this. Obviously, coming in as an intruder has to be tough. People, you know, especially in the Big Brother house where you have no television, no access to the outside world, like it's very easy for people to make relationships, you know, very, very quickly. So for you to have to kind of come in and intrude on that, I'm just kind of curious, like, as the longest lasting intruder, you know, like,
So
what
they
do you
say.
think? Yeah. Like, what do you feel like worked better for your game than other people's games? And like, what kind of an impact do you think like being an intruder had?
Yeah, great question. Obviously, you know, we can't even shower alone. That's how sort of in each other's faces we are. So coming into the house was difficult to begin with. Obviously, you saw that kind of situation where we were down on the bottom floor and everyone else was up on the spa, and they told me to tense my back and stuff like that. That was a really intimidating sort of situation for myself and even Bella, because we're going into a house of gorgeous people, and you know, you just don't know what to expect, who's going to be in there, what they're going to be like, or any of that kind of stuff. So it was super hard being an intruder. I think what worked well for me was having ADHD, and just sort of bouncing around to everyone, conversing with everyone, being able to connect with everyone too, but also I guess stimulating mentally and emotionally, and just trying to create connections that way. So yeah, look, that was, I guess, just putting my head down, my bum up, as I said, probably 15 times on the show, and just sort of getting to work. Yeah, because I knew that there's a stigma around intruders, regardless. You saw in my eviction, when Josh said, you know, he wants the OGs in there, Dion doesn't want to lose to an intruder. There's already a stigma surrounding us. So I just wanted to make sure that I broke down that stigma early, or tried to, and just weaseled my way into connections.
Yeah.
And that you did.
Yeah, I thought you did a really great job. I mean, obviously, would have loved to seen you longer in the game, but I thought that, you know, while you were there, I thought you did a really great job.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah.
TJ
No, it was great.
I think it's a shame that you don't see more of TJ banter, to be honest, because I had so much fun in the house with TJ, and I know everyone else did. And I just wish that there was some more funny TJ moments because the guy's a cracker. He just settled in so well.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the main thing I'm disappointed about in the show. You saw a lot of me kissing people, but not a lot of me actually talking about stuff. Which again, another one of my great attributes is kissing, but my better one is my personality. So I just wish that was more broadcasted than my bloody red room stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because I definitely thought that as we're interviewing people as they leave, I was like, oh, I'm expecting to hear, TJ's a dog, TJ is a player, like blah, blah, blah. And it was like, no, we really like TJ. We're like, oh, okay, good. That's encouraging.
Sure.
That's nice.
Yeah. I was expecting it
So,
too.
we were definitely robbed of some of those conversations. So, justice for TJ.
Justice
for sure. Yeah.
And G Money. Yeah, I might start a petition so they can redo the show with more of me in it.
Yes. We just have like TJ's version.
Big Brother and TJ. Big Brother and Little Brother.
Yeah, there you go.
It would sell. I'm telling you, it would sell.
It's either that or OnlyFans.
Well, there's a place for both.
Yeah. That's great. Oh man.
So as an intruder then, what do you think specifically really distinguished your game away from the other intruders? Like what made you more successful than anybody else?
I think what separated, look, all honesty, I think if Ollie intruded earlier, I was in a lot of strife. Ollie, such a big character, really smart guy, but obviously a physical fucking absolute gargantuan. So I think if Ollie and I were intruding at the same time, I would have been in a bit of trouble. I would have handled him, but that's fine. I think maybe what separated me from the rest was probably being able to create connections with the girls and guys. As you saw, Ollie really tried to focus on the girls because he knew that we just wanted him out. He was just a big galoot. And I think the girls, like Bella, more so struggled getting along with all the girls, which is unfortunate. But, the guys kind of liked her and didn't have anything against her. The only thing that any of the other guys had against her is that they were in relationships with some of the girls that maybe didn't see Bella in such a great light.
Yeah.
Well, and we saw you say too, there was a diary room where you said that you specifically wanted to prioritize relationships with people outside of Bella because you kind of came in as a package deal and you wanted to make a point to kind of separate yourself from that too, which I think did you some favors.
Yeah, absolutely. If we just spent all the time trying to create a connection between us two, we would have been gone before they even evicted us. I think Big Brother would have just kicked us out. So yeah, I really made that a point to Bella. I was like, look, you are cool and hot, but we need to also work on everyone else too, because if we don't, we're just going to be just two people flailing around the house with no connection to anyone else but ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
definitely. The next topic that we have, this really is for both of you. This caption is literally just the Savage Sisters. Okay.
Is that what they're being called as now? The Savage Sisters?
Well, by us anyway.
That's what we're calling them in this house.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
There was really for both of you, because I know GRACIEMAE, you took a lot of heat, for Jake's eviction.
Dude.
And
almost all of it.
Right. It seemed like everyone was blaming you for that. Even people like Josh, who, was with Tay and was very close with Ari. And it was interesting to me because, Ari was with Jake, broke up with him, immediately nominated him, and somehow you're the one getting blamed for Jake getting knocked out, even though you didn't even nominate him.
Blowback.
And rightly so.
It's wild, so rough. And I think that the worst part of all of that for me is getting so chewed out for it after the fact. But that was my hardest eviction, and that elimination is one vote that I can say the entire series where I stood by my decision that I was happy to do that. And it hurt so bad because Jake is my favorite. And so I was so gutted that it happened. And I'm going to spill some tea. I've not told anyone this. And I'm so sorry, Teej, because love you. But in that backyard, when we were like, yes, it's going to be Jake, I thought the next day I would have time to go in the house and be like, actually, it's got to be TJ. But I couldn't say that in front of Ari because she would be upset. So I thought I had some time to like get Taylor and Monet at least on my side, maybe Lewis to boot TJ instead. So you see my face drop when Big Brother says it's a snap eviction, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have no choice but to do Jakey. And so it was just a horrible time. So sorry, TJ. Love you so much.
That's right. I've got to end this call anyway. So.
So yeah, look, I think it's hard. It was definitely all the girls banding together, and I hate that I got chewed out for it, even though that some of the other girlfriends obviously chose the same. And I just think it's shit that as soon as everyone went back into the house, it was like, fuck GRACIEMAE, she's a dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone was
Agreed.
here. We're all here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, for you, TJ, I mean, you went in, you were doing such hard work, like making relationships, formed this relationship with Ari and got involved, romantically. Like, I'm curious, like, what was your reaction when you first found out that it was Ari and Tay that nominated you?
It's so funny. If you asked me this when I first left the house, my opinion is different to what it is now. When I first left the house and we do that sort of exit car sort of interview thing, the guys, the person asked me the question was like, what do you think about Ari and Tay nominating you? I was like, look, it's a game, blah, blah, blah. I really sort of blasé threw it off, and they're like, no, I don't think you understand that they nominated you and you got evicted. And it sort of didn't just hit until I guess I watched it yesterday. And that I guess Ari and I actually had a conversation about it, and she said that, they didn't have anyone else to put it on. Kind of what she said to Jake. And I was like, in the time, I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, like, blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I'm like, if I'm involved with someone, there's other people in the house. There's 7 other people in the house that I can put this vote on to hopefully save my significant other. But in turn, look, I've got no hard feelings against the girls. I think they're both absolutely fantastic and love them to death. So I'm not going to sort of start hate mail or start some hate fan pages about them or anything like that. It is a game, and we act how we think is appropriate in the time, and that's what they thought was appropriate.
Absolutely. Great answer. Yeah. Great answer.
Wow.
Very diplomatic. Yeah.
Very, very eloquent. Very eloquent.
We're waiting for the tea, and he's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder if after a couple of drinks, we'd be saying the same thing. If it's like 11 p.m.
No, I'd be on my phone texting her.
Casual evening.
I can't believe you did this to me.
Well, I mean, since you're there, I mean, like, what has the relationship been like with Ari outside of the house? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned speaking recently, so like, how has that been going?
Yeah, good. Like, Ari and I are friends now. We were sort of seeing each other outside of the house for a little bit. It just didn't end up working, but we are still really, really good friends, as well as Tay. We spent New Year's together just gone as well too. So there was that kind of intent to pursue the relationship, but definitely just friends now.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Unless.
Totally Unless it's a lonely evening and we've had a couple of things to drink.
Absolutely. I'd be great 3 a.m. Are you up?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love that.
At least cracked. Certainly not locked.
No, absolutely not. The key's not thrown away.
That's fantastic. Oh, geez. So, GRACIEMAE, like, do you think that your game was affected by not being in a romantic relationship in the house?
No, because I know that I had Lewis. So although not romantic, Lewis and I were really ride or die in the house. So I never felt like I was on the outs because I'm like, I actually have a person. Yeah, we're not hooking up every night, but that's my person. So to be honest, I really saw myself as everyone else that had their couples. I was in a couple, it just wasn't romantic. So I think, yeah, I don't think that is the reason that my game was affected.
Yeah. It was really interesting to watch. Like, I loved watching you and Lewis, like, and all the shenanigans you were getting up to all season. And like, it was interesting because this season felt like, the couples really had a lot of power in the house. And obviously, you and Lewis were also like a duo. But do you think that like the couples that were romantically involved maybe looked at you and Lewis a little differently? Like, were you all kind of working together at all, like, because you were duos, or was there a difference between like the romantic couples and like the friendship couple? Like,
There was definitely some working together, not on a couple level. I had some people that were in relationships, wanting me to be in the top 3. So I thought, which is why my votes go the way that they go. So I don't think that they necessarily saw us any other way. I know that they wanted Lewis and I to really go a long way. So I thought.
Okay. Right.
Well, you definitely did seem to prioritize a social game above all. Like we saw that little diary room of, you wanted to be a little rapscallion in the house. And we saw you, the second that Ollie and Maddie Rose came in, you're like, you're not going to believe what happened with the pants last night. And then we see you like, you're doing backflips off the couch. You're like making up songs. Like, how did you use kind of that goofy social strategy to kind of further your game?
That there's no strategy. And I told them this when I was like, do not cast me if you want strategy. It's not me. I don't know what's going on. There's a monkey in my head clapping. So what you see is just me in life. And it's funny because like I've been a manager at some big like retail makeup stores and I'm like, I'm too goofy for this. I can't manage people. I can't even be managed. So it's funny. And I really saw that as my time to just actually just let myself have a good time. So it was to my benefit that it helped in my social game. But that's me. I'm going to chitter chatter. I won't shut the fuck up. I'm going to have a run. I'm going to have some fun. So I think that they just went hand in hand for a social game, to be honest.
Yeah.
You nailed it, Giles.
You're like one of those people that can just like, your social game is good without you even trying, because it's just who you are.
Yeah, look, I think it's funny too because I know the deep chats with people, especially people that were maybe struggling a bit on their way out. And I know that I was able to kind of, yes, radiate up here with the fun, but I could also drop down to that level of like, okay, let's be real. It's going to be all right, rah, rah, rah. So I think that part is probably what stuck with people the most, like the empathetic supportiveness, as well as tied into the whatever that is.
Well, it's interesting because even going back to the Anna Sophia vote, no, she was certainly somebody that you were saying, oh no, girl, I got you. I don't want you to go anywhere. And then we turn right back around and you're in the DR and you're saying, no, Anna Sophia's got to go. That's where my vote is going. So who led that charge? And like, why is GRACIEMAE being a sheep?
She led that charge. And I can't remember if it was on your podcast or something else, but she hints to say that she wanted that. So I'm ride or dying to the end. Like, you have to stay. Do not muck this up. And ultimately, I wouldn't have voted her if it wasn't her decision. I don't know if I can say.
Okay.
Just know I loved her because I loved her. We were so tight in the house and I just did not want her to go. But then I'll stand by this. If anyone's showing a lick of I don't want to be here, get out. Because I want to be here and I know how bad I want to be here. So if you're going to hint that maybe this is not it for you, leave it for people that actually are loving it and want to stay. Yeah, that's me.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally. We totally get that. As people that would love to play a game like this, we totally get that. So
yeah,
right. Absolutely. There's been a lot of chatter about how Louis has kind of been like really strategizing a lot and kind of like manipulating a lot of these votes and kind of leading the charge on a lot of these things. Would you agree with that?
Yes. But good on him. Like it's benefiting his game so dramatically.
Sure it is.
There needs to be,
that's how you play.
Yeah, there needs to be a maestro for the band. You know what I mean? If we're all flailing around, it's just too unpredictable. And this game is so fast. As you saw in my bloody elimination, there's 3 people gone in the space of bloody 14 seconds. So if it's just absolutely random, then no one knows what's going on.
No, I take my hat to Louis. He really understood how to do a lot. And I know me coming out of the house, I'm like, God, I wish I had a little bit of Louis in me because
Maybe it was the house of the GRACIEMAE.
No, look, I really love Louis, and my favorite part was getting to know him after the fact because in the game I was like,
Fuck this guy. Yeah.
But out of the house, he's just the sweetest guy. So it's funny to even watch him be so strategic and, line up all of these moves because, there's a whole other side to Louis. And look, I take my hat off that he was able to pull off what he has so far.
Wow. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So do either of you feel particularly betrayed by anybody in the house?
You go first,
The goings
GRACIEMAE.
on?
I mean, yes, but also it's the game. I feel personally
Sorry.
betrayed because, things are promised and this and that, and it doesn't go through. So in the game, absolutely, I was like, oh my gosh, justice for G Money. But that's the game. And I think I went into the house thinking this is just for fun, but there's also a bunch of other housemates that are there to play. So of course I'm going to feel betrayed when anyone votes for me, eliminates me, goes back on their word. Of course I will, but that's the game, babes. So look, I think I really did feel betrayed by the boys for dogging me and throwing me under the bus because, things were said and I put my trust in them, but also kind of didn't trust them. Hate to see that Dion voted for me in my eviction. That hurt because I love him. I'm obsessed with Dion. We're so tight. And I thought that we were, no, sorry, I didn't think we were tight in the house, but someone had obviously fed him GRACIEMAE doesn't want you in top 3, don't trust her. So I think seeing that he had put a vote on me to go, I was like, oh no, Dion, I can't believe you believed them. And then obviously Lewis taking the money, absolutely heartbroken, but I understand, and it's a game, man. So betrayal is a heavy word for such a silly little goofy game.
Yeah.
Right.
And I wish you saw the Dion vote earlier so that you didn't got to get me out. Golly. Even though I voted for you as well.
I know.
It wouldn't make any difference. I just would have wanted you to see it just so I feel better.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole Lewis thing, you can almost see in your face though that you kind of knew he was going to take
babes, I knew it
knew.
the second they showed them on screen walking out with the briefcase, because I know Lewis, we slept in the same bed the entire time, we're thick as thieves. I just saw his face and I was like, oh no, he took the money. I just knew. And it's funny because being in that halfway house and what I knew from what had been spoken about in the game, I truly thought that Monet would go and I would go back in. So that was my thought process. But before the cash before that was even a thing, I was thinking, are we going to do a challenge together or is Big Brother just going to put me back in? Because that's how I thought it was going to go. So when it's the opposite, I was like, oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ, I was wrong.
If the tables were turned, what would you have done with Lewis?
Oh, there's no way. And I think that you could, I mean, it's hard when no one's actually asking me seriously, but I wouldn't take any money for any of those housemates. I love all of them. And for me, that experience is worth way more than $5,000. And I've come out of this show feeling like I've won the 100. Someone said, here's $100,000 or you never get to live the Big Brother experience. I would pick the Big Brother experience. It has shaped the way I've lived my life for the past entire year and will continue to. So I don't think that there's no way $5,000 is going to sway me to ruin or take away anyone's experience at a second shot. But still love him. Love you, Lou. Love you, Lou Bags. I understand why he did.
Yeah.
That shows too, though, because I feel like, we always ask people, oh, what are your relationships like post game? Who do you still talk to? Who do you reach out to? And every single person that we've asked that question is like, I love GRACIEMAE. I talk to GRACIEMAE all the time. And it's like, it just shows that that's the kind of person that you are,
Yeah, I love it. And look, the bonds that I've built, regardless of if I agree with people's gameplay or things that they have said, that doesn't matter to me so much so that I know I have a connection with all of them, and I'm truly grateful for that above all else. So yeah, I love everyone, and it's so nice that we're all so tight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love
that's really,
that.
really awesome. Yeah,
that's nice. For TJ, A little bit
Yes, sir.
different question here, because we kind of mentioned obviously the Savage sisters and everything, and like Ari has this history, unfortunately. She ended this thing with Jake, immediately put him up for eviction, and we saw him leave. And now we have Ari and Tay put you up, even though your thing wasn't over. While they didn't actually vote for you to go, they were certainly part of the decision-making process that got you in danger in the first place. So, like, what were your thoughts on that? Like watching that back.
It's so hard. It is so hard, and it did feel like sort of history repeated itself a little bit with the Ari Jake situation and myself. Like I said earlier, if it was me in the chair and I didn't know who else to put up, I think the last person that I'm thinking of is my significant other. Maybe it was a little bit of Strat, I don't know, but I don't believe it would have been. I just can't see a reason why they would vote for me in the first place, because I had such a good connection with Ari and Tay. So yeah, I can't understand why, unfortunately. Maybe you can ask them.
Oh, we plan to. I definitely want to know. What's your relationship with Jake now, like after the fact? Like it definitely, like the way it was edited, like you can't really like tell how things are going on, because it definitely felt uncomfortable as a viewer, like to see that, Ari was obviously with him, and then like, she spends some time with you and she's like, oh, forget this. So like, so what was it like for the two of you? Like those little moments where you're passing in the hallway, or maybe you're trying to make food at the same time. Like what was it like for like TJ and Jake?
In the house, look, after the fact of transitioning from Bella to Ari, it was a little awkward to begin with, and I knew that Jake would probably have a target on my back, which, watching the show back now, I didn't realize how much he sort of banded against me. And it was sort of awkward, maybe like when Ari and I are kissing in bed and Jake's staring at us from the other side of the room. It gets a little bit strange. But honestly, Jake is such a nice and genuine guy, just wants to be loved. He's like a little puppy. Like he's genuinely like a little chihuahua, like his dad's got. He's just full of energy, full of beans, and you can't help but like him. So, I have no malice or ill feeling towards Jake, and I think that feeling's reciprocated. We still talk all the time. If I go to Melbourne, I'd 100% catch up with him for a beer. I don't hate anyone from the show, regardless of situation or them nominating me or anything like that. I think it's such an augmented place to be in, where you're into forced situations, that you can't have like ill feeling toward anyone.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, just kind of like to piggyback off that a little bit, you mentioned, still being, in contact with Jake. And we have heard that you guys do have like kind of like a group chat for the cast. But like other than that, are there any like particular people that you guys like really keep in touch with more regularly than anybody else in the cast?
Absolutely. Myself, Josh, Louis, and Lewis have almost an unbreakable bond. We have a group text chat outside of all this, and we chat about everything. I went to Sydney to see Josh 2 weeks ago, and he's coming over for GRACIEMAE's birthday actually next week.
Happy birthday!
We're gonna go run an absolute muck, which will be fun. So Josh is coming to stay with me Friday, then we'll gallivant down the coast and see the beautiful Gracie. And I think some of the other contestants are coming too. But it's genuine. I'd say more so Louis, Lewis, Josh. Certainly chat to Bella a lot too. I think it was just when like she was getting evicted and the whole Monet situation came up and whatnot too. So yeah, I've been chatting to her as well. And GRACIEMAE, obviously.
No, you can't. Like so much fun. Are you guys allowed to send us pictures? Like, I want to keep up with all of this. Like, I want to see like these bar nights out and stuff like that. Like, absolutely.
TJ and I were out last weekend.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah. Oh, we love hearing that. That's so cool. That's awesome.
We'll send you photos. Just don't sell them at Channel 7.
That's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely not. It'll be our secret. So GRACIEMAE, other than everyone, like who do you specifically keep in touch with? You're very popular. You're very popular.
Look, over the past year, I've definitely kept in contact with a few people more than others, although I love to touch base with everyone. Still BFFs with Lewis. We love a little phone call catch up. Obsessed with Taylor Davies. She is my girl. I love her.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
I kept in touch a bunch. And then Anna Sophia's my girl. Kwam, Bella. I've chatted to the sisters a minute, like especially now that it's all airing, like I'm chatting to everyone so much more, which is so nice. But yeah, I think that my strongest and Dion, fucking love Dion. My I've chatted to the most are probably Lewis, Taylor, Dion, Teej. Yeah, I love the chance that I have to catch up with everyone, and I'm so excited for them to come for my little B-day. It'll be nice for us to all have a little mini reunion, and just love that they're going to fly in for it.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
What day is your actual birthday? What's the actual date?
Wednesday the 6th, which I think is finale night, baby.
It is.
Ooh, wow, is it really? That's soon, huh? Oh, it's kind of sad. I've been having a good time. But it's a week away.
I can't believe it's like it's come by and we've waited so long and now it's finally airing and then it's going to be all over. We're going to have this horrible come down, the lot of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're all invited to come hang out with here. If you hang out here, if you want to recap the entire thing, just hang out for a little bit.
Anytime.
Yeah, we would love to have you all, a whole bunch of you on. We can have 10 people at the same time. So
maybe we might fly to the States and do it live.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be even better.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I've been trying to go to Australia for the longest, and every time I look at these flights, I'm like, the X.
Yeah. So anytime. I want to unpack every episode. You guys get us on whenever. I'll
hell yeah.
Yeah, no,
amazing.
honestly, message us. We don't know what the process is there. We go through Channel 7, we're doing everything very official. But no, would love to really unpack literally everything. We love this show and we love this game. So yeah, no shortage of conversation to be had here in this Strat chat.
I felt like when I was thinking about when we were going to do the podcast, I'm like, I've got so much to talk about. I've got so much to tell. And now that we're here, I'm like, there's no one home.
Right, we're just all so excited to talk to each other. Just it all just falls out of your head, but that's okay. The door is always open.
Come back.
I don't know who you guys want to win with our. I don't know what we are now. Top 6, maybe
Something like that.
It's so hard to keep count because people leave and they don't leave. We got this half house. There's always things going. Who knows who's left at this point? I think it's 7 or 6? Question mark?
Are you guys rooting for anyone in particular?
Well, now I don't know.
Yeah,
honestly,
now
no
that I'm
offense,
gone.
TJ.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh wait, that's not the case. What? That's crazy.
No.
I mean, you're definitely top 3 hottest people in there. But,
I'll take top 3.
Yeah, who we were rooting for to win, I don't know. It's so hard. GRACIEMAE was definitely my personal favorite.
Me too.
Which when my heart was a little broken, Bella was like, "Oh my gosh, GRACIEMAE's stressing," and I'm like, "Wait, what about us? We can't wait." Absolutely not. No way. Oh gosh, who are we rooting for now? I mean, I guess I got to put my eggs in Louis' basket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's actually playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there to actually win something. It's not just about relationships or anything like that, which has certainly been a fun layer to the game. Not knocking it, but anybody with a strategic game is something that we're going to resonate with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I honestly, looking over this cast, I don't think there's anybody in there whose win I would be rooting against, if that makes sense.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Some seasons of Big Brother, you're like, ugh, as long as this person doesn't win, that's not the feeling here. I would definitely wholeheartedly support a Dion win. Yeah. His story is very touching. Of course, Taylor, just knowing that you're, playing for your child. I love that.
Yeah.
The Savage sisters, I could even support something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who's really, really playing the game and playing to win, I'm certainly here for.
Amazing.
What about you two? What are you thinking, Gina and John? Who do you want to win?
I want Louis Beers to win.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Honestly, though, I'm really liking Dion.
Yeah.
I think Louis and Dion are my top 2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dion's a good little raconteur, isn't he? A bit of a storyteller.
Exactly. Yeah.
Podcast with Dion. That's going to be epic for you guys. He's just the best.
I just feel like that's going to be like so much fun. That's going to be so wild. I think I should take off the day of work that day to make sure I'm properly prepared for the energy that I know he's going to bring.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when he first walked into the house, I was like, "Oh God!" I'm like, "This guy looks like too much for me." And then, like,
terrified me the first
when you
day. I walked in,
yeah, like overwhelming.
on, and then second day, loved him.
Yes, that is exactly my experience too.
He
It
has turned
translated the
out
same way for us.
he's turned out to be totally different than I expected him to be on that first day. Like I was literally just like watching stuff back today. Like I freaking love him. I love him.
Yeah, he's perfect for television. Honestly, I could watch that man 24/7.
Oh man, you know it would be a fun Dion and GRACIEMAE amazing race duo. That would be fun.
That would be.
Honestly, Dion and I get on like a house on fire. I wouldn't be surprised if someone wanted to team us up together to do something cooked.
I would live. I'd live.
Even in the massage challenge, I'm so glad that they put us together to do TJ and Ari, because we are just
That was amazing.
It was not amazing.
something so simple and just make it fried. And that's what Dion and I do well, is we just add spice to a situation. We make it ridiculous. And I really love playing back and forth with him in the house.
Oh, you guys are having a grand old time.
I have PTSD from that massage.
We're a producer's dream, Dion and I. We're making things
I
that
love
they didn't
watching
even
it.
think of.
Oh man.
I have a last minute question for GRACIEMAE. I mean, TJ, you can certainly answer too, but you were a little bit after this, so I don't know what your opinion would be. But I'm dying to know what everyone else's opinion was of the reaction with Annalise and Dion with the whole BB Express thing. You know, and like it seems like it's so early in the season, but that was such a jumping off point for Annalise's whole like, you know, character and like, you know, who she was in this game. And like, did you back that? Was it a little crazy to you? Like, what'd you think?
I definitely didn't back it at the time. I probably don't now, to be honest. I mean, it's a game. You choose left, you choose right. But in saying that, Louis let me pick the door. So if I didn't get to pick and I got G'd up on the train, mate, I'd be pissed off too. I do think that it's definitely chopped together dramatically. I just don't think it's a big deal because I'm just very, it is what it is. You hand me something and I'm like, all right, I guess that's mine. And there's not much process to it. But I love Annalise. I love how strong that she is. And I love that she always expressed herself. And I think that, she's a credit to herself. She wasn't afraid to say how she felt about it.
She certainly was not. She certainly was not.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting that whole decision. I think it actually was kind of the catalyst for Kwan's exit. You know, because Kwan sat there in that eviction and was just like, I don't think it was just a big deal. I don't think it was so big. Whatever. It's just a train. Get over it. There are worse things in life. And we're like, Kwan.
Yeah.
Same for Kwan. Just doesn't care. She's like, this is how I feel, and you're all going to know about it. I don't care how you feel about what I've said. I love a chick that can stand by her words, and those two are just epic. They're such strong women. It's a shame that they didn't go further. Soz for voting you both out. Love you both.
That's great.
Kwan, I think it's wonderful that you're standing up for yourself, but you're out of here. Annalise, I think it's really, really great. But honestly, girl, you're gone.
It just looks so dog, doesn't it? I remember, look, Kwan was all right. I felt fine about that decision because it was so early on. Annalise really struck a lot of chords because it was only the night before that I actually really got to know her, and I was like, God, this is going to suck. But as Luke said, you're keeping 12 people happy over one or whatever the number was, and that's what that vote is. And you can see that I'm sobbing in some of the clips because it was such a hard decision to make, and I didn't want to let her down, and I didn't. Justice for Annalise.
Yeah.
Sorry, girl.
Yeah.
So what's next for the two of you? Do we get to see you at any other reality TV? Is this the end of the road? Like, what are we doing next? Would you ever play Big Brother again?
Yes. Get me back on. I'm waiting for the call, babes. I know Big Brother misses me. He's dying to have me back. No, I don't.
Absolutely. That would be amazing.
I'd love to just be in entertainment in general. I don't care if it's TV, I don't care if it's radio, I don't care if it's a podcast. I just think that this experience, it fills my cup to entertain. So I would love to do any other TV show that I felt like aligned with me, or anything else that is kind of in the realm of entertainment would be fantastic.
Yeah, it feels like you were born to be an entertainer. That's really what it felt like watching you.
It's actually my personality type. My personality type is the entertainer. ESFP, I think it is. But yeah,
Nice.
we
love that. Do you watch Survivor?
Yes. Oh my God, someone tweeted GRACIEMAE needs to be on Survivor, and I told my dad, because my parents are big Survivor fans. Babes, I wouldn't make it off the freaking boat to get to the island. Are they serious? Who would say that? Mind you, I'm just floating through the game like, oh, I'm going to go steal some food, and then someone has to go home. Oh, babes, that'd be awful. Would I do it? Absolutely. But they would get me off. I'd be sad.
That's so funny.
Well, they would.
Listen, if you're into podcasting and you enjoy doing that, we love Australian Survivor. We actually think that Australian Survivor is slightly superior to American Survivor.
Really?
So, yeah, honestly, because you know what? Australian Survivor is just bare bones. You know what I mean? We're playing a game. 2 tribes, not all this advantages, all this other gobbledygook going on, right? We're just playing the game, and it's so entertaining.
My family are ride or die Survivor fans, all of them. Even my grandma was watching it the other night. She's like, oh, I've got to watch the taped Survivor.
Well, listen, the door is still swinging open for you. If you want to come back and like chat some Strat with us when we start doing Australian Survivor,
oh my God,
please come on down.
Absolutely. I might not watch it, but I'll say some wild stuff. It might be entertaining. It might not make
We're always down for wild. We're always down for wild.
Yes.
What about you, TJ? What's next?
Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Oh no.
We're muted. Because he was coughing.
Our poor TJ's a bit under the weather.
Oh no.
Oh.
Sounds like it. Oh. All right. Well,
honestly love TJ, but when I found out that we were doing it together, I was like, of course he's going to steal my limelight.
Oh.
But also so glad it's him, because TJ and I bend.
Are we back?
So
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I keep getting bloody phone calls, and how rude of everyone. Because every time I get a phone call, I cancel it, and then they just absolutely stuff up my little stream here.
Right. It's unacceptable. We only need less than an hour.
I was going to bloody fight them. Would I go on another show? Would I go on another show? Abso-freaking-lutely. I would love to slip onto another show. I'm not sure if we can talk about other broadcasted shows on different networks, but I would love that. I think, much like GRACIEMAE, I definitely think I've got the personality. I'm a super big extrovert. I'm a bit of an idiot. And I'm just a little bloody gremlin too. So I'd love to. So if you've got any recommendations, let me know.
All right.
Awesome. We'll DM you some suggestions. Absolutely.
Please.
We watch it all. All right. We almost at 50 minutes here. John and Gina, did you have any other questions for our friends here?
I want some more juicy questions. Lay it on.
Yeah. This has been so PG.
Hey, what are your thoughts on clowns? How do you feel about clowns?
Conti the clown. How dare
What a guy.
I can't believe that, honestly. And it's funny because it looks so ridiculous. It's like, come on, Gracie, fucking pull yourself together, man. But when you're in there, your brain cells are fried, you're starving, and he's just staring at me, man. I was running around the house that entire day. That poor man in the clown costume. Oh, poor thing. But I think that also, like, the housemates really rallied to make it a thing. TJ married us.
I did bewed them. Legally, she has a husband.
That's fantastic.
Good wed.
Oh, Gracie.
Have you guys been watching Uncut?
I've seen some of it. I haven't gotten to watch all of it. So.
Oh, dude, you guys have to watch Uncut. It's go and binge it. It's so good. I freaking love Uncut. But yeah, I think that by the end, Conti the clown and I don't know, we were just vibing. And I don't know if you've watched last night's double episode, but Paul Lewis gets clowned by Conti the clown with a Justice for G Money sign. And I was like, oh, that clown loves me. So
well deserved.
Oh my God.
I was super disappointed actually that Lewis didn't bring you back in. I mean, again, I still kind of felt like that's the way it was going to go, but it was like, it's just because looking at your face, like we know that you know him better than we do. And there was a certain acceptance that once you saw how that was going down with Louis, you were just like, well.
Yeah,
I was like, oh no, I don't want that to be the end here.
Right.
I was so disappointed mainly that my time was done. And even when I went out after he took the money, I was like to the producers, get me back in. I don't care. Find another way or I'm going to run back in there myself. But ultimately, you know, I love Lou Bags so much. And A, yes, he could absolutely use the money, but B, he was saving me some heartache. You know, he knew how upset I was that I felt the energy shift from the other housemates. And he knows I'm a sensitive soul. And I don't think that he would want to watch me go through going back in to get eliminated or put up again. And although you don't know, could have won a challenge, could have stirred the pot. But I think that ultimately he did what he could for his game and for my little heart.
Yeah. And you could really see how hard it was for him too. I mean, especially waking up the next day, kind of being alone. And I think he had he was talking with Big Brother, kind of talking about how he really kind of regretted it. But he did mention, that money, the $5,000 was a lot to him and he could do a lot with that. So you could tell he was really, really torn.
No, I have nothing but love for that man. And the second it was all over, he rang me and he was like, G Money, I love you. I'm sorry. He even messaged me last night. He's like, I can't bear to watch me letting you down tonight. Yeah, I got nothing but love for the bloke. And you know what? I wouldn't change a damn freaking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you're dying for one more question, I got one.
Dying.
So obviously a lot of the romantic relationships kind of were already pretty established in the house, like really quick entering the game. So for GRACIEMAE, game aside,
yep,
who's GRACIEMAE interested in?
Go on, tell him, Gracie.
that face.
I love them all. They're all so hot. Let's just get that out there. But
They are, honestly, again, no clunkers. No clunkers.
I don't think that there was a person for me necessarily romantically. Like I talked to Big Brother about it and I'm like, I don't know, I'm friend zoning people, they're friend zoning me. It's kind of my energy as well. I think I don't usually go into a lot of situations with men being like, this could be something. I'm more just like, oh, muck around. And if we vibe. And I'm someone that feels an immediate connection. So I don't know. I mean, would definitely love to have a rumpus with one or two of them, but I don't know. Relationship-wise, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful blokes. And I think, I wouldn't want anything romantically with any of them. I don't think.
Fair enough.
Love
Fair
guys,
enough.
sexy beasts, but it's not for me. I need a goofy guy. And someone that's really going to support to bring me out of my shell, I think. So, yeah, I don't know if any of those people tick the list. Plus, they're out of my league, man. Have you seen the other models that were in there? Obviously, there was no romantic interest. Love myself. I'm a hoot. But when you're competing with these beautiful, beautiful women, it was just best that I was just running around stealing food. Best for everyone.
I think you got to stop selling yourself short because you are you are definitely gorgeous.
It is.
You hot.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're
Love
talking
you
about.
guys.
And inside now, like, I mean, you're gorgeous on the outside, but your spirit and everything, like, we were so drawn to you just from that. Like, never mind how you looked on the outside. So please, you're definitely selling yourself short.
Oh,
Absolutely
stop
not.
it. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Love you.
We'll have no more of the GRACIEMAE slander in the Strat Chat house.
Roger that. Heard.
But TJ,
Yes.
if not Bella or Ari, then who?
No, I think that's it for me, Bella and Ari. If anyone else, it would have been bloody Josh, the handsome bloody guy. No, I think I was definitely the most attracted to Bella and Ari in the house. So man, I got bloody Christmas came early for me. It was amazing. But yeah, definitely those two girls, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair.
Definitely.
Yeah, that wasn't as juicy as you wanted, was it?
That was a good answer. It was a good answer.
No, but that's kind of why I led with GRACIEMAE.
Yeah.
I kind of expected to be a little let down there.
Well, I mean,
Because I felt like you had like pick of the litter, really, because people were kind of like pretty open to you and your entrance. It wasn't like anybody was looking at you like, oh well, we're not interested in TJ.
Yeah.
Like you kind of got to make a selection, and
Yeah, you had
well
to.
received.
really got Jakey evicted. So
Yeah. Nah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely had my cake and ate it.
yes. You dined sufficiently, some might say.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love
So
it.
silly. So where can we find you both on social media for our watchers and listeners? Like if they want to follow along with your journey and your story.
Mine is literally just my name, GRACIEMAE Sinclair, on Instagram, on TikTok. That's where you'll find me, babes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
You're not on the Twitter. You're not on the Twitter/X.
Listen, I've got a Twitter account. I just don't know what it's called. Maybe I'll have to get it started because I've been stalking relentlessly. I've got a problem. Stalking
Yeah.
crazy woman.
We all would be.
But yeah, I don't actually know what I don't know. It'll be GRACIEMAE Sinclair if there is one.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And mine's just TJ Halkias as well. TJ Halkias on Instagram and TJ Halk for something different on TikTok.
All right.
And
Switching it up.
On
Switching it up.
So
and if you put your location to Brisbane on Hinge, you'll find me there too.
Oh,
Good to know. Good to know.
it's so funny. I got out of the house and came home, and I'm pretty sure I swiped past Teej on one of them.
No, that's so funny.
It was a
quite
yes.
fast too.
Uh,
So there you go. TJ is open and available on the Hinge.
Yes, sir. Anywhere, really. You can send me a smoke message and I'll get it.
Oh wow. He's everywhere. DMs are accepted.
They're open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Floodgates are open.
That is hysterical.
Hit my boy up with those beautiful eyes.
yeah.
That's honestly what it was. It was the eyes.
Oh, bless.
I remember saying like before some other stream was like, my God, do you see this man's eyes? Like, that is
Yeah.
hard to catch my breath. Like, what's happening here? Like, yeah.
Definitely very
Good on ya.
lucky, yeah. I think there's some weird statistic, like, I don't know, 3% of the world have green eyes or something like that. Ugh, it's all hearsay.
Before
I don't know. It's
we
only
go,
it's
I
only
wanna know your guys' favorite moment.
3.16%. I don't know what it is. What was that, Gracie?
Before we go, I want to know your guys' favorite moment from the series so far.
Oh my God, that's hard. That is really hard. So I really love the shopping challenges. Those I would say that those, and like I don't know if I could even pick one of those, but the shopping challenges are just so much fun to me. So much fun. That's something that's very different from the Big Brother US version. We don't get that here. So getting to see you guys do that, yeah, it is. Those are some of my favorite. Like I love the challenges and seeing you guys compete in those, but the one where everybody has to kind of work together to like get the that week's shopping budget together. I think those are some of my favorite moments.
Oh yeah, they're torturous too. Like you're exhausted by the end. You're like, this can't be real.
The torturous. My first shopping challenge was kissing people. That was the best.
That one was good.
That honestly, that might have been one of my favorite moments of the season. That whole kiss cam situation.
It was. I was so disappointed. Dion and I had to kiss, and it was just like it was my first kiss in the house, and it was like I felt like fireworks going off, and I'm so bloody upset they didn't play it. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I had to tell my dad as well, and I was like, "Dad, $20 is $20."
Yeah.
And when you're hungry, you need it.
Yeah.
$20 goes a long way when you're starving.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
shopping task is definitely like fun for me. I definitely enjoyed the one in the, I think it was the library where like the cockroaches and everything else is dropping. I definitely would have zeroed out the entire budget just on that one. Like there's absolutely no way it would have helped in any way.
That was hectic.
That one,
Yeah, that
was
looked
set up to fail a bit
absolutely
there.
terrible. Yeah. No, all these I feel like you're set up to fail. Like, like if you come out of there with any money, if you're in the green at all, I feel like you did a great job.
Yeah, it's a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I will say my favorite moments all come from the house nominations. I love the idea of the entire house getting to vote for who they want to put up because that's something else we don't have in America. You know, you compete and then like you're head of household and that one person gets to now nominate two people for eviction. And it's like you don't get to see what the rest of the house thinks of everyone. And like that is so super interesting to me.
Yeah, I hate
I
that.
always go, to 7+ that I want to watch the extra video to see exactly how each vote went and what each person said, because it's just insight to different people that you don't get to see.
I wish they were all.
The edit only allows so much.
Yeah,
I wish they showed them all. Really,
Yeah, they're really,
because I could take some of the fluff out. Well, we call it fluff. We also enjoy it. It is a shopping task and things like that. But the game is what I'm really, really drawn to, and I would love to know more about like everyone's insight of why they put a point on someone. That's where Australia is definitely superior to me.
Yeah. We love Big Brother Australia. We really do.
Oh, amazing.
But honestly, thank you both so much for literally taking an hour out of your day.
Thank you. I've been waiting for this, so I'm surprised we got it done in an hour.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm happy that we did. A lot of times we have hard stops, like people have to go back to work and people have like things to do. So like this has been like amazing to just have this like free hour.
And it's funny too, because this all these interviews that Channel 7 has allowed us to do, like, so so nicely, have been great. But like this is such a bittersweet one, because you were both so much fun to watch in the house, and like we loved having you in there, and it's like it's definitely a little sad that we have to watch the rest of the season without you guys in the house. So but we're just so thankful to both of you for taking the time to talk with us on our little podcast here in New York. So
our absolute pleasure
to watch all of the other contestants speak with you, and it's even more exciting that we have gotten the chance to today.
So gosh,
I concur.
It truly was ours. Like really, this is really, really awesome. What an amazing way, because it's 7:30 p.m. our time. So amazing to end the workday like something like this. Like this is awesome. So like, thank you both. Thank you.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
And you're welcome back literally anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not just like a casual thing that we just extend to everyone. We don't say that to everybody.
Be careful what you wish for, because I'll come back.
TJ,
no, we are careful, and we did it.
You guys get questions loaded up. We'll pick a time, and we'll go.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody watching, listening, you can find us at Strat Chat Pod on all the socials and wherever you receive your podcasts. Obviously, we'll be continuing our exit interviews as the season continues. We'll also be live tomorrow night, 10:30 our time, which we understand is around 2:30 your time, question mark. We're still trying to figure out all these time zone things.
Depends where we are.
Would love it. Yeah. Hop into the conversation, get into it. Definitely love to hear, because I know that Australians definitely view this game a little bit differently than we do, because we love the strategy. We love the backstabbing and all like the good game playing that we call it. I know people are super sensitive to that. Definitely want you to come into the conversation too, so we can tell you you're wrong. And until then, we're out of here. Again, thank you both so much, and thank you to our friends.
Guys, go and watch Uncut. You'll love it.
Yes.
I'm going on an Uncut binge tonight.
It's so good, honestly.
So much personality, so much fun, and you're often looking at it being like, "Why isn't this in the episode? This is so good."
Agreed.
Good.
All right,
love it,
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you.